gather around. This story has been long in the telling, but soon we approach its end. Long ago, the land of Irion fell into a great civil war. The city-states and the races therein all fighting each other for dominance over the land, only stopping when the great dragon, Dragotha, nearly burned the land to the ground. 30 years later, a party of adventurers was manipulated by a powerful mind flayer into being the catalysts for another civil war. And in an attempt to wipe Irion clean again and take its power, Dragotha was resurrected and set against them. But history repeated, as the people of Irion banded together once more to slay the dragon. This alone, however, would not save Irion, for the Mind Flayer still lived, and schemed to awaken a powerful being known as the Old Voice, capable of doing far more damage than Dragotha ever could. And even without that, the tensions of Irion still remain, with little to no proof that the Mind Flayer even existed. And so our heroes rally together, with companions they have gathered over their long journey, to represent the hopes of Irion, and its last chance to survive an assault that could ravage the land or even the world itself.
I won't stand idle. Not while people's lives are at stake.
I will not make the same mistakes again.
You're my friend. You're my family. And I'll protect you at all costs.
The time for civil war is over. Now our fight is for Irion.
Together, they will race against time to the sunken city of Yohlrum to overcome its challenges, and finally confront the Mind Flayer before the world they know is lost forever to his machinations. The road ahead of them is long and perilous, but it is the only chance that the world has if they are to save the fallen empires. Last time on Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires. Our heroes further investigated the runes that had drained much of the power of water breathing, and it turns out there were multiple layers of runic protection, ones that Scam debated trying to circumvent, but unfortunately could not safely. So, after an attempt to dispel them, decided to leave them alone, and then, with the group, decided the best way of finding a way out of the sewers before they suffocated was to split off and look for a way upward. Momo, Malifane, and Drax went to a storage room filled with bodies, including one that appeared to still be alive. Unfortunately, this thrashing woman was in fact undead, and nearly sucked the strength out of Raxidol before being destroyed. Searching the storage room for anything useful, they found a pair of immovable rods. Scam and Corellian, meanwhile, found a creature in a clockwork orb-like suit of armor, trying to weld something shut. Shortly thereafter, dispatching it. Reuniting, our heroes found that what the creature was trying to seal off was a thick grate that covered a ladder leading up, presumably, towards somewhere where there was air. The grates themselves were held in place by thick metal chains embedded into the walls that split off further into the sewers. Our heroes found and pulled one, opening one grate, shoving an immovable rod in between the links to hold it in place, fighting off a gigantic, mutated shark in the meantime, and found the other, guarded, quote-unquote, by a huge, gibbering thing of slime, almost unable to be fully rationalized as a solid form due to its otherworldly nature, that was thankfully blocked off by a wall of force. Rather than try to figure out what this thing was and how to get around it, our heroes shoved another immovable rod into the chain and swam as fast as they could towards air. Finally reaching the surface and gasping, our heroes looked around, finding themselves in a crossroads of sorts in Yohlrum, surrounded by dilapidated buildings. Scam went around to see what of this place could be used as a defensible location, as it was proving obvious that Yohlrum was a very large location that would take quite some time to scour. While Raxidol discovered a strange creature known as a Flumph in the ruins of a dwarven tavern. The Flumph, being a friendly creature, was happy to engage in conversation with something that wasn't a beast or one of the illithids that controlled them. One of being the key word, as there were a handful of other illithids down in Yohlrum that were helping Rancor with his plans. Our heroes continued taking a look around to see where the crossroads led, finding 6 roads, one of which was blocked off by a huge adamantine gate with multiple locks on it, and decided to finally take a rest and take stock of their next option in Yohlrum. What will our heroes encounter in the sunken city? Who are the other illithids working with Rancol? And is rule number 1 of Dungeoneering, trust a flump, correct? Find out on tonight's episode of Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires. Hello and welcome to Fallen Empires. If you're on YouTube, you'll probably notice nothing different. If you're on Twitch, there's been a bit of a break, but now my voice is in decent enough shape that I can actually do some DMing. I am your host, Alex, and with me as always is my lovely cast and crew of players. We have Atlas.
Hi everyone, I've missed you.
We have Jojo.
Hello everyone, I've missed you as well.
We have Queen.
Hello and welcome to my new solo show, Raxidal, the Chance of Raxidal.
And we have Scott.
Hey, my doctor diagnosed me with stage 4 schedules conflict syndrome. I have 15-20 minutes to live and I'm spending it playing D&D with these fuckers. It's a good day.
Aw, we love you too.
We love you.
I love you guys. I'm gonna miss you.
Oh no, anyways.
Oh no. Alright. So, when last we left our heroes, they had arrived in the town square of the sunken city of Yohlrum, and had gathered to take a little rest, and gather their bearings and fortify their town square in a rundown tavern, because everything's run down. It's a sunken city that hasn't been maintained in a while, named the Bouncy Hammer, which is inhabited by a flump.
God, yes. Love that flump.
Excellent.
Good lad. Oh, I'm
10
still
out of
sat with
10.
it.
Yeah, you
Yeah?
didn't move you.
So, did we take a rest or not?
Officially, no,
No,
but
I
you
don't
can.
believe so.
Oh no, I don't have my things. Okay.
Now would be a good time to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for Corellian, the courtesan card was drawn, so...
I don't need rest. Rests are for pussies. No, all is well. Who cares? Haha, not me. Dungeon crawl, baby.
Dungeon.
Loving that.
Oh, didn't we say we were gonna, like, look through all the different rooms first to check if there's anything else around? Or did we already do that? Because I can't remember.
I don't think you did that.
Alright, I will pursue to do that. Bye, Flump.
Fine.
Cool.
Yeah, Malifane will take a look at the rightmost door then.
Yeah,
All
come
right.
on,
Or at least-
Mal.
In the interest of saving some time,
Oh, thanks.
because there is currently no threat, unless I roll some.
Oh god.
What are you so worried about?
Do it, coward.
Alright, so, that being said, in the interest of saving time, since there is no threat, I'll just go ahead and say the investigation goes off fine. Money-wise, or valuables-wise, there is not a whole lot here. These look like shops, inns, other storefronts
Oh.
that are long since abandoned, destroyed, waterlogged, and the like. There are a couple of intact notes, however.
Okay.
Most of which are in Dwarven. So, note number 1 is this clipping from a newspaper article about the work of the Dwarven architect Von Tharm, who basically reinforced and or created the domes surrounding the city and other important, like, big buildings associated with him, including 2 that are in his home slum of the Pagek district, and mentioning that he is one of the holders of one of the quote-unquote keys to the castle that that King Ranmar gave out to his most trusted advisors is not quite the right word. People in his inner society circle. So that is one newspaper clipping. A second one is like this. I forget the exact word for it. It's a business list basically a list of transactions and whatnot, and what quote-unquote...
A ledger.
Lord. A ledger, yes, thank you. It's a ledger detailing the various imports and exports of a series of dwarves calling themselves the Market Lords, and what specialty of trade they have, like what any particular import or export would fall under, and a schedule of when the key that is entrusted to them is passed off.
Market Lords.
So, then, the third note is a shipping manifest of various dwarven ships and whatnot that come into the South Rim Dock District. It mentions that there is, specifically, like most of the note is waterlogged and damaged, but the part that is intact, there is a ship called the Tyrian that apparently has water purification tablets, whatever those are used for, presumably purifying water. The second note is a very old-looking notice for construction in and around the Temple of Meraden in the Temple District, mentioning adding on a separate wing, basically, or an addition to the already Grand Temple, but it would be dedicated to Bahamut instead. And then the last of these notes, the fifth note, is a ruined-looking invitation, basically, an open invitation flyer to a soiree at the Mudcoat Estate House, saying people from all walks of life are welcome.
The Mudcoat Estate House.
The Mudcoat Estate, yes.
Surely they could have come up with a better name. I mean, Mudcoat isn't exactly very inviting, is it?
I
While
mean,
this is going on, I'm going to cast a heal.
we're about. Yeah, I mean, we're about to take a rest, so
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, never mind. I'll save it then.
Yeah.
Save my breath.
Trying.
Well, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Never mind. Probably wouldn't know anything like that. Never mind.
I mean, fair. Well, quote, the whole, keys to the castle thing seems rather important. We know for sure that at least one is held, in Pagek, so there's that most likely in terms of the architect. And as for the ledger, in the ledger, it said, I think you mentioned that it was passed off between different merchants. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, there was apparently, according to the ledger, a regular schedule with which the Market Lords passed off who held the key.
In terms of the schedule, was it specific in terms of like the month and day and year, or is it more like on the blank of every month it is passed off to so and so?
Blank of every month.
Okay.
You mentioned that the ruined invitation is for people from all walks of life. That said, is this invite written in more than just Dwarvish, or is it even possible to tell?
Since you're an anthropologist, roll history for it.
Alrighty. Where's my character sheet?
Where the three people
PCs.
are. Yeah.
Alright. Just a straight history check?
Straight up history.
Alright.
Don't notice any details that would identify anything important about who wrote this letter.
Alright.
In our previous research of when the city of Yohlrum sank, was there any mention of like what month or time of year even it was sank during?
It would have been, so let me go roll for that.
Thank you. Sorry. Because that could at least narrow it down a bit.
In the equivalent of February.
Oh.
So still during like winter, so that's at least something.
Yes.
I guess that begs the question of when was it? Who was it passed off to? Before February or during February?
You notice a name, Anlin, on the ledger that would coincide with that.
Okay. Cool.
All right. I have a plan. I will go back to the Flumph. Flumph.
Well, howdy ho, how can I help you?
I forgot that's the voice. So, are you limited to just this room, or can you explore, like, all of this area?
Oh, I can go, almost anywhere I want. It's just, I don't want to get killed by any beasties or monsters that happen to be hanging around.
I don't suppose you know a game called Hide and Seek, do you?
I cannot say that I do.
Well, the point of the game is that one of us hides, the other one counts to 10, and then I seek you.
Okay.
Would you be willing to play such a game?
I do not see what that would accomplish.
Well, here's the thing. If we're going to position ourselves here, and if anything tries to scuttle in and chase us, by playing this, I'll know all the hiding spots of this place.
Scam calls over. You could call literally anyone else. We're trying to fortify this place.
And?
I mean, surely there's something else that the Flump can do other than hide in very tiny places.
Just let
Raise
me...
his hand with the half-elf with a stealth modifier of 15.
Sure, if you're willing.
Oh, you have my attention, I see. What do you need me to do? What's that? You want me to hide? Sure.
Sure, just... You know what? For the sake of you, I'll give you 15 seconds.
Wow.
Very generous. May I roll a perception check to see if there are any parts of the area that are of what's the word I'm looking for? Particular cover, I guess.
This would be an investigation check since it's a longer
Investigation.
term looking for stuff.
All right, fair enough.
Oops.
Oh, for God's sake! I'd like. You know what? Do I have anything that can fix that? I don't know if I do.
He just puts a lampshade over his head.
I might have something. I don't want to use my inspiration right now, unless I have to, especially not for this. Yeah, the only other thing I have would just add numbers onto that. But that's an at one, so that doesn't do shit. So.
All right.
Oh well.
So Malifane, you and the Flump have been convinced to play hide and seek. You hide right here.
I assume I have to roll as well.
Yeah, roll perception to see if you can find Flump and Mellow. Oh my god!
I just don't even bother. I just walk straight
This
out.
was a great use of our nat ones, honestly, all things considered.
Can I try and see if I can find him?
Sure!
Coming ready or not.
This is technically a contest, right? Shouldn't I-
Totally.
Well, hang on, this is technically a contest. Can't I roll stealth just
Yeah,
to
you
fuck
can
with
roll
that?
stealth. Just with disadvantage.
Oh, well.
You're standing right there.
Yeah!
Oh, I could have.
Shit.
Oh well.
Alright. So, Malifane, somehow despite the worst hiding spot in the world, you do not hide from Momo. The Flump is making no attempt to hide, he's kind of floated to a different location.
Right. So,
You've really lost your touch there.
Something compelled me to hide here, and I don't know what.
What you just comes back. You could have chosen any other room.
I don't know.
Well, you only gave us 15 seconds.
true.
Fine. 30 seconds next time.
Right, well, before we get into any next times of hide and
Yeah.
seek, Just a few quick questions. Curly sort of looks over at the Flump. Master Flump, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm not really a master of anything, but I don't mind at all.
Well, it's more of... Anyway. So, we came across a bit of information, and we wondered if you would, be willing to elucidate on it. Are we in the market district right now?
I'd call this more of a town square than a market.
Okay. Do you happen to know what the market district would be, I suppose, officially or formally called?
Oh, yeah. Not so good at reading, but I keep hearing them calling it the Matud Market.
Matud Market.
Yeah, there's
Excellent.
a whole lot of forges there, whole lot of tents, whole lot of guards, too. Dwarves knew better than to have living guards around, so lucky them. Most of the guards survived the flood. And years and years after.
Are they,
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, are they undead or constructs or...
I think the term is constructs, yeah.
Okay.
I also saw one of them, one of the illithids go in and out of there a whole lot. I guess he likes pretending to shop.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to do down here, right? Also, the Temple District, do you happen to know which one that is?
Oh yeah, that's off to the west. Real bad energy coming from there. Just pure anger. I guess that's what happens when a bunch of dwarves pray to the gods and get nothing back. Another one of the mind flayers goes there a lot. Usually accompanied by, like, really tall, flying paper people. Maybe they know where the key is?
Paper people?
Yeah, paper people. They're people made out of paper.
It seems a little, Carlene sort of looks around. Seems a little dangerous in a place that's sunken, but I mean...
Damn paper people.
I just want to confirm my suspicion. Carlene Malafane just says, the subject of these dwarves keeps being brought up. You wouldn't have happened to got a look at what these dwarves looked like, would you?
No, because they're all definitely dead.
I see.
Wait, so you came after they died?
Yeah, I told you, I came, and then he repeats the exact precise number of cycles.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, I don't know.
So
confusing.
Actually, when do you happen to remember how recently those mind flayers went into the market in the Temple District?
Oh well, they go in and out, so it's not like a how long ago. It's more like a they go on their schedule kind of thing.
Ah, I see. I guess which one was the most recent one you saw? I guess.
The flump racks his brain. Well, technically the vampire.
Sorry. A mind flayer vampire.
Yeah, one of the illithids is a vampire.
Okay.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh, for fuck's
Interesting.
sake. Wonderful.
Right.
Again.
Which district did they go into?
Well, the vampire goes into whatever district she damn well wants.
She.
No.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I'd wager you make enough noise in here, she'll be hunting you any second.
Understood.
Also very good to know. Thank you.
Best be quiet then while we're exploring around here.
You wouldn't happen to know their names, would you?
I am going to roll to see if the flump knows enough about the mind flayers to know their names.
Good.
I do, actually. Holy shit, I do.
God.
the vampire, I picked up the name Izagana a lot.
Okay, phew.
Ghana. The fella that likes going into and out of the market district, his name is Kulador.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, the temple district one with the paper people, Grafrex. They're hard to spell on account of being mind players, so I just have these words appearing above my head.
I get it. Also, Kulador?
Kulador, the market one, yeah.
Kulador, okay.
Okay.
Kind of Kulador and Grafrex.
Well, good to know. Thank you very much. Did any of you have any other questions, comments, concerns, etc.?
I mean, I can tell you more about the other districts and like some of the summoning bells they use if you'd like.
That would be
Summoning
of use.
bells.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the summoning bells. At the entrance to each of these districts, they have like little bells that sometimes the Illithids ring if they need to get in contact with their allies and whatnot. It's a lot more convenient
Reinforcements,
for
then.
them. Yeah. You ring them, and then like whatever's in the district beyond kind of changes depending on what they're summoning. I don't know how for sure because I don't want to ring them and then check, but like might remove a couple obstacles, might add some. I do know that the capital has a lot of those bells, so if you don't end up ringing them, maybe the Illithids will. All I know is it'll summon their allies.
Oh.
Interesting.
I wonder who allies with the mind flayer.
I mean, probably anyone down here if they want to fucking live. But yes, you mentioned the other districts. If you wouldn't mind going into some more detail, that'd be very nice. Thank you.
Yeah. We got the slums. Real nasty energy coming from that place. A whole lot of spite, mostly. From what I can tell, the king left it to rot even before it all got nasty and waterlogged. Some real important guy to the king apparently has the key in there, who'd be important and live in the slums. I don't know. Then down south, there's the docks. Super grody. Like, I know you were just in the sewers, but they're super grody, let me tell you. Something in there smells. Probably fish, maybe it's a whole lot of smells together. I don't have a nose. I can't tell. Not good ones. Just gross to look at, smell, touch, you name it. If you really want to dig through a whole lot of ooze and muck there, go for it. Then, let's see, what other districts? Oh, yeah, the two, there's the Northwest. I think that's the wealthy district if you want to go carousing around the lap of luxury. Unfortunately, a lot of it is flooded. It doesn't stop a whole lot of the weird cult people, though. And there are a lot of them. Like, a lot. I guess the Illithids have to get their workforce from somewhere and trust he's to someone. But if you're really after wealth, I'm sure someone in there still has some. Then last but not least, we got the capital, that big old gate. The flump pokes their head out the window. You probably saw it. It's the one with the huge locks on it. I managed to sneak inside a few times, only a few. Guards yelled at me, lashed tongues at me. Didn't bother giving chase. I assume that's where the big bursts of psychic energy are coming from. And I also assume you're gonna need all the keys if you want to get in there.
Yes.
Well, that's a certainly a lot of information and a lot to unpack. Cult? Caroline just sort of like pitches their brow and just, this place has been sunken for so many years, and yet I mean, fine, okay, great. There's so many things to. So any place tickle you all's fancy, because they all sound terrible to me.
Well, if the capital still has some... Well, the capital, no doubt, is going to have the most civilization. That's going to be the most dangerous in turn.
We need the keys to get in there anyway.
Yes. The wealth... Well, I'm sorry, I meant the wealthy district. My bad. That's going to be the most dangerous because it's the most populated. of the three current options, at least.
So, would you
Yeah.
rather start from the bottom then?
There are 5 current options. There's the slums, the market, the docks, the temple, and the wealthy district.
Okay.
And I mean,
Right, the market and the temple, right.
we do have at least some leads. I mean, for the wealthy district, we have a name. It's not necessarily guaranteed, but it's a place to start looking. But when it comes to the slums and the market district, we at least have perhaps more specific things to go off of. So I'd at least vote for going for one of those first.
Agreed.
Maybe market, that might be the easiest, since there's, a specific name. So, and it's a, market, so it might be easier to find than an individual. I don't
That's
know.
a good point.
That's just my take on it, though. So please, if anyone dissents, go for it.
Safer option and something that actually we have a lead for. I'd vote for that.
Yes, if we have a lead on it.
Okay, I guess market district it is. Once we set out, which Curlian looks everyone up and down. We maybe might want to, take a bit of a breather first before we do any of that. But yeah, yeah.
That might be helpful, offers up Kaiwani. Alright. You all settle down for a rest. Short or long rest?
I hate that you asked that. I would. Have people been using spells? Because I'd suggest long if that's the case.
In that case, we should have a watch of sorts.
Oh yeah, I need to charge my spells up. Yeah, I can do
We have
watch.
plenty of people who can be on watch. I don't think that's ever going to be a problem.
Take your pick. You've got an army.
Okay.
I'll take second or third, either one. I have a familiar that can give me advantage.
Probably have Zetzag take at least one of the watches since he has a fucking +8 perception. And maybe
The eyes of the eagles give me advantage on perception, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Like to spot far off details, I think.
I can do it if that's alright.
Really?
I can see.
Cool. Alright.
You
so,
can
sure.
fight!
Alright. So, is Rax taking first or third watch? Because Zatzag's taking the other.
I'll take third watch then.
Cool. Alright. In that case, after I roll for that, Zutzag face behind, scanning all the various entrances and exits that have not been walled off and fortified, as I go to his characters. And roll some perception.
Oh, woo.
Zutzag sees nothing of interest during the night and goes to wake up Malifane.
Time's up.
Yeah, you're up, buddy.
Thank you. Alright. Let's see. I think during this as well, depending on whether or not this succeeds, I'm also going to take this opportunity to actually get a better look at any particular cover spots. But let's see how this goes first.
Okay.
With advantage. Hey, there we go. That's more like it.
So, alright, you are absolutely sure there's nothing really coming at you, so you take the time to investigate potential cover spots. You're in a town square full of dilapidated and mostly still standing buildings. Take your fucking pick.
Fair play. I think we will be safe for the time being, then. Alright, in that case, Malifane will go and wake up Raxadal.
Meep.
You there?
those dice, I swear. Oh, have you explored more?
Yeah, the place is completely collapsed. The rubble will serve as more than enough cover.
Good. I just wish this chainmail could be quieter.
You don't have any other options?
Well, short of me taking it off, but that takes a while.
I see.
Yeah, go rest a bit.
Right. Best of luck then.
Thanks. Okay. 19.
All right. So you're not sure how much time passes because sunlight doesn't reach down here. But as what you estimate to be dawn approaches, you're very certain that there's no danger for the rest of your watch.
Good. I will take that rest then.
Awesome.
Then I will rally the troops.
You're a battle master too, then. I tease.
Alright. Everyone wakes up, Scan claps his hands. Alright, so, I got some good news, and I got some news that is less great for us being a super overpowering action economy.
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
The good news is, and I'm sure Malifane can attest to this, the place is really easy to fortify into, hide in, and all in all be super safe in case we get attacked in the night by a vampire mind flayer.
Good.
The bad news is, cause it's so fucking big, we're gonna need a couple of us to stay behind and make sure that, individuals don't get blindsided.
Uh-oh. Out of character. My time has come!
The time has come.
Well, I guess that's one choice. No, I'm joking. So, what would you suggest?
Well, obviously I should be the team leader to fortify down here, because I'm the one who knows about this stuff. But I'd say, most of Team B, no offense, Team B, as he gestures over to all the other people, Zordan, Annabelle, Zutzag, Kailani, Remig, Solana, and Ari. All but, I'd say one of them should stay here to make sure, most importantly, that I do not get destroyed, but also that they do not get destroyed in turn.
Oh, alright. So we cycle through depending on when we go.
Yeah, whenever you come back here, I'd say take your pick of who you want to go with you.
Oh, that's alright then. If you're sure, Scam.
I mean, it's better than having let me count, 11-person action economy, 12-person, I think, actually. Do you taste copper?
Sometimes. Point being, that sounds like a good enough plan if others agree.
Yeah, I mean, we have to keep at least one place safe, quote, safe for all of us, so no, absolutely. Makes perfect sense. I guess the question is, who comes with? We're going to the market district. Haven't gotten too much terrible information about it. I mean, there's the whole, constructs and all that. Actually,
I'm looking through the list.
Yeah. I mean, and out of character, they're quite, I'm personally leaning towards someone who has a bit more of a magical bent. I may be incorrect when it comes to how constructs work, although I'm not sure of that personally. Okay.
Maybe Solana?
Yeah, I'd say she has a good investigation. She's got Arcana and History, so if we're searching for places, she'd be really helpful, I think.
Alright.
Yeah. Cool, no dissenting opinions.
No dissenting
coming
opinions.
with us.
Excellent.
We are in this together.
Alright. Welcome back from microphone hell, Jojo.
I'm still in microphone hell.
Alright.
I've come up for air.
You come up for air from microphone hell as everyone offers up Solana. He nods.
Sorry. We offer her up as a sacrifice.
Alright. Solana nods. Well, I suppose that does make sense. Asher and Alora is kind of a marketplace myself. I'd be vaguely familiar with the layouts.
Good.
Well then, you all head down south towards the gates to the market. Just as the flump said, there is like a post with a bell on it in front of the entryway to the market. This bell in particular is wrought of like pure iron with like crossed axes and the skull of a bull on it.
Oh. It's beautiful.
So, if I understand this correctly, anyone who, well, the Mind Flayers ring the bell, they call their allies, so, I mean, I don't think it would benefit us to ring it at all.
Gameplay-wise, because I don't think I made it super duper clear. Gameplay-wise, if you ring the bell, that will summon one of the lieutenants to basically replace encounters in this wing and act as the boss fight.
Okay.
If you do not face them here, there is a chance you will face them in the castle.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay.
That's some gameplay mechanic there. Well, I think since this is the first one, we should hold off for now, maybe?
I mean, what's to stop us from getting the proverbial lay of the land first and then,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
coming back here? Yeah,
The
exactly.
frustration of the DM.
Sorry.
Technically speaking, nothing. However, it would involve me having to mix and match encounters on the fly.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess for everyone's sanity, we should probably make the decision now. Do you taste metal?
I'm double checking. Like, it depends on when you ring it, basically.
Okay.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
Well, considering that Corellian's a tad injured anyways, maybe we just hold off for a bit.
Yeah, God, no, I still feel like shit. Fuck.
I'm
Alright.
gonna- Do you want me to heal you?
No, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll be alright.
If you say so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be alright. Don't worry about it.
That's his back.
Alright. So, in that case, you leave the bell be for now and continue down the streets as I go into a different music track.
Ooh, music.
What is
I don't want to delete it. I want it to stop. Alright.
Oh, that's a promising name.
Yep. So, the winding streets of Yohlrum eventually take you to a gatehouse with dwarven signs outside, including some in Undercommon, actually, that basically indicate this is one of the gatehouses into the Matud Market. The gatehouse is decorated with bands of silver and gold along the rim of its entryway, and there is a series of 6 statues scattered around its outer perimeter. Stepping inside, under the rusted and now useless portcullis, you see on the opposite wall another doorway, this one also in bad shape, but in the closed position. As you go close to examine it, you hear this sound of magic activating, and then this shrill, echoing voice call out in Dwarven and then Undercommon. "Store your weapons! Store your magic! We'll have none of that in here!"
Oh, crap.
Put away your weapons! Corellian translates for the people in the party who don't know Dwarvish or Undercommon.
Thank God.
Well, on our way.
Alright. You sheathe your weapons. Nothing happens.
I mean,
Uh,
as long as we're relatively unarmed, we probably should be fine to go forward. The statues, are they of any particular, like, I don't know, deities or something like that, or not?
Yes, actually, there are 6 different statues, each with pretty distinct designs. Going from top to bottom, and then left to right. there is the statue of an Aarakocra that is scattering coins down to the ground below with a giddy expression on his face. Oh, and before I go on, each of these statues have like words carved into the base in different languages. This one has a word in Aran. Then there is a human knight who is paying a blacksmith to repair a broken long blade with the word weapon in common. I'm not even gonna mask that word. Everyone fucking speaks common.
Yeah.
There is a dwarven miner digging into a geode and finding crystal inside with a word in Dwarvish carved below him. And then on the right-hand side, there is an elven bard sitting on a stool, coins getting tossed into his upturned cap, with the word in Elvish carved into it.
Okay.
A series of goblins who have set up a market stall with all sorts of like doodads and trinkets on it, with a word in goblin carved under that.
Fuck.
And then a kobold scooping gold coins into its pouch under the nose of a sleeping dragon, with a word carved below that in Draconic.
That's suspicious.
Well, we've got Elvish, Aarakocra, Dwarven, and Kobold covered, so there's that.
None of us speak Goblin, do we?
I do not speak goblin,
Nope.
says Solana.
What do the do they all say weapon, or do they say different things?
They say different things.
Okay.
Momo, and technically Malifane, since he also speaks Primordial. The Aarakocra statue has the word no carved under it.
Oh, well, fuck me.
The human knight has the word weapon.
Okay.
The elven bard has the word then, Than.
Okay.
As I struggle to hit the send key to send the word than with the goblin. You don't speak goblin.
Okay.
And the kobold has the word coin underneath it.
What was the Dwarvish one? What does the Dwarvish one have?
Oh, the dwarvish one. Yes, sorry. The dwarvish one has the word greater.
Ooh. Okay, so
So my internet fucking died. Those of you who are thinking about buying Spectrum, don't.
not today.
God. So, anyway, thank you all for your patience as I sorted that through. That sucked super hard. Anyway, we were talking about the statues. The statues... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, it could be any number of things. You said the coin could be no weapon greater than honest coin, then cheap coin, then Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Sorry,
Well,
I think I bit my tongue there.
There are several greater than Bitcoin.
Yeah, out of character, Jojo and I were considering that, like, since this is the market, this could symbolize like a bartering kind of thing.
So
Honest coin, who knows?
Gucci coin.
I'm gonna double check Solana's spells real quick.
Oh yeah, I should check one too.
She did not prepare detect magic. Shit.
Why did she not do that? I do not have that either. Damn.
Her Arcana skill should be better than that, though. Hang on.
Oh, can we roll Arcana?
You can roll Arcana, yes.
I will do that. Hey! Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Alright, so, the warning that you heard earlier was definitely a magic mouth of some kind. And you would wager, given the sheer number of questions that probably go through these gatehouses, they would have to set up several different magic mouths that are triggered by other questions or other actions taken in the gatehouse for when it's not being staffed by an active dwarf.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a step forward.
All right.
All good?
All good.
Gonna take another step forward. Just seeing, like, if I move closer, if anything else sets it off.
Okay, keep on going.
Ooh, what
As
is
you
this?
get to about there,
Yeah?
there's a sign of magic, and the warning from before repeats. Stow your weapons and stow your magic. Evidently, it does not consider having them in a sheath to be stowing it.
Oh god, this will work for me. It won't work for anyone else. I kind of look back at the others and I'm just like, I guess we leave them here.
Oh,
Carlin sort of looks down at their claws. How do you stow magic? I don't think I understand.
There are a couple of crates near open crates near the entrance and exit doors. Presumably, the idea is just drop magical implements and weapons in there.
So, like, our arcane focuses.
Yes.
Fuck, okay.
Oh, they're fucking nutty if they think I'm giving up my my icon on my shield. No, I'm not giving up my shield. Does a shield count as a weapon? Actually, or does it count as armor? I feel like it would count as armor technically. Not
I
that
don't think a
Oh,
shield counts
matters.
as a weapon.
Oh,
Well,
glorious.
That's good. And Krellin sort of like looks at the front of their shield. I mean, this doesn't look like a traditional holy symbol. Maybe it'll slide. We'll see.
Perhaps.
But just for testing's sake, Krellin like unloads javelin, scimitar, pick, etc. weaponry, and then moves forward to about where Rex is to see if it triggers again.
It does not.
Oh, all right.
Okay, I will go back and put the short sword away. And the other
Alright.
stuff.
Solana goes back to studying the statues and trying to get a better feel for Arcana and whatnot.
Cool.
Momo's also gonna roll Arcana.
Cool.
Well, I mean, between the lot of us, are you fine without a weapon, Rax, or what sort of?
He kind of just smiles at you. And he's
Okay,
like, I
you've
should be
got
fine.
all right. You've got something going on. All right, because I mean, I'm pretty much good with whatever junk we can find. That wouldn't make too much of a difference to me personally.
Yeah.
So
Solana looks around, mutters, "There's more than one magic mouth." He walks forward. "Why do we need to stow our weapons?" Another magic mouth activates. "For safety in the marketplace. Can't trust everybody. Of course, if you are trusted, you'd know the password."
Fuck.
are there any sort of like clerical areas of the gatehouse where people who are stationed here would be, or anything like that?
There's one that looks collapsed.
I mean, why not, just pick through it and see if we can find anything useful? Why not?
Why not?
I'll go with Corellian.
Do you stow your weapons and holy symbol before you do that, Momo?
Yes.
Oh, what if we put our stuff in the bag of holding? Would that count?
Hey, worth a try. It'd be stowed, and isn't like, technically speaking, whatever's inside the bag of holding, like, not technically in this like planar dimension? I'm not sure how that works. Magic is weird.
Worth a shot.
Worth a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. Momo, put your weapons and holy symbol into the bag and move forward and see if it pings off you.
Momo takes the bag and puts his sword and holy symbol inside, and then he starts walking through the gate.
You walk up to the gate. It doesn't ping you.
Hey!
Fine by me then. Excellent. Well, in
Brilliant.
that case, fuck it. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said my name. You actually said a different word that has a similar ending. My mistake. Yeah, no, in that case, Carlian will sort of like dump their armaments into the bag for later retrieval. Works for me. If we don't need a password necessarily, then why not?
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll dump it in. I'll leave my longsword here, because I'm still bonded to that. That's a just in case, because I can summon it.
Alright. And so our heroes bypassed the puzzle using tools I already gave them.
Yeah.
Shut.
That's solving it,
That
technically.
is technically solving it. I
Good
mean,
job.
if you get past the puzzle, it is considered solved. So,
Very true.
Cool. So, let's just mosey on over then. Scoochy scooch.
alright. You scooch past and push open the door as it opens with this loud and you see this like huge sprawling site, stall after stall, like most of which are either collapsed or no longer have merchandise on them. What items you see are like mundane weapons and baubles and whatnot, gathered in random piles washed around by water. But all these stalls greet you as you work your way through the market streets. Many are, as I said, disrepaired. Some still hold up, but few have anything like usable on them. Rotted and waterlogged food is everywhere, and what were surely great works of art for sale are just frames. In the distance, you see a couple more gatehouses, and a couple of buildings, only one of which looks to be in still working order and glowing. A huge forge, it looks like, from the glow coming out of it, called Anlin's Anvil. And in the meantime, you hear these, the clatter of metal and the chanting of dark eldritch languages alert you to stalls that still have something intact. And you look at what's over there, and Corellian, you recognize more of, like, the clockwork orb creatures with tendrils coming out of them, gathered around, rummaging through, taking metallic and clockwork devices and passing them down the line.
Huh. Well, Carlin sort of points those out. Those are, copies, or at least related to the things that attacked us down in the sewers. Or, yeah, attacked our group down in the sewers. The split-off group, you know what I mean.
Wonderful.
They probably won't interfere with us directly if we keep a, distance from them. They didn't seem very perceptive, so to speak, but, actually, do you all think it would be worthwhile to see where they might be going first before we make any sudden moves?
That's a
Seems
peaceful
reasonable.
idea, I say.
Yes. Gotta creep.
Gotta be stealthy.
I can't be stealthy.
Hey, Malifane, the person with this stupid, disgusting stealth, he should go forward and do that. It's a shame that, Cat got his tongue all of a sudden, but, it's really like that sometime.
I embrace the art of silence, says Malifane.
Well, I mean, you don't because you just spoke, but go on.
Do not question the art of silence. Anyone want to roll for Malifane, or leave that in my capable hands?
Yeah, you do it.
I don't have access to his sheet, so.
I can run him if that's fine.
Yeah, that's cool. I can get you access to the sheet if you want it, Jojo.
It looks like I already have it. Somehow.
Somehow.
Hey, disgusting rogues.
Fudge.
All right. So, Malifane goes creeping along the market streets, and far out in the distance, I'll let you all scatter around. For those of you who can see, like, this house, don't go further than the house if you want to get into position, because
Okay.
fighting is about to
Okay.
happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
You,
creep a bit closer.
You slowly creep through the streets, Malifane taking a stealthy lead, when a pile, well, not a pile per se, one of the stalls finally collapses under its own weight with a creak and a chung, sending this loud clatter, 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 clatter of shields down to the ground. And the makeshift assembly line of the clockwork orbs stops, and they all turn towards you.
Bugger.
Well, jig is up, news is out. Let's fucking go.
All right. And it is initiative time.
Oh,
Gee, I can never find initiative on this bloody thing. There it is.
21?
Oh, 19. That's good.
Congratulations!
Malifane.
you're almost
God,
going.
disgusting.
Malifane, disgusting.
Ugh, filthy. What can he even do? Hold on. Let me look over that real fast.
Ooh, give me that electric guitar.
All right. As I refresh so that the chat can hear that electric guitar.
There's a lot going on here. Let me just double check a few things. It's been a hot second since I've had to look at Malifane's sheet. You know what? Well, Malifane will probably move into some sort of position. Actually, he'll move to about over here. He will try and make a ranged attack against that closest creature with his rogue's bow. God, features, actions. Oh god, there's so many things. Oh no, wrong character sheet. Jesus Christ.
Oh, no.
Give me a second. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, I'll assume you took your stuff out of the bag of holding once you got past the gate.
Yeah. So he'd make an attack with the rogue bow, and he would, I guess, hide as well. I believe I could probably make a check to do that before I make the attack, and would that be able to apply sneak attack damage then?
I believe
I think-
technically, yes.
Okay, well, in that case, while I figure this out, we'll pretend that did a thing.
All right. So, I assume he's attacking the southernmost clockwork orb.
Yes, correct.
Cool. There was still a chance, technically. There was still a chance, but they're like, oh man, where'd the loud shield dropping dude go?
Tight. I'm trying to see if there's a way to apply this technically. Let's see if this works. Yeah, good enough.
It does, yeah. All right.
And that'll be his action, bonus action, and movement. Okay.
Cool. All right. That is over half of this particular orb's max hit points, so gotta roll some system shock. It is hanging on. Thinking, man, what the hell was that? In the meantime, Malifane's turn is over, and it is now Momo's turn.
Okay, Momo's gonna fly a little bit closer so that I can actually see where he is. Maybe just a little closer. I cannot see the orbs.
Nope,
Oh,
it
really?
is real dark in here.
Okay.
Oh, they're like
well,
all the way up there. Ah, there's one. Yay.
Way up there. Yeah, I'm turning on
Yeah.
torches for most of you.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Since
in
you're
that
already being
case-
spotted, no sense not turning the lights on.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to cast Scorching Ray on this guy.
Cool. I will transfer excess damage to his nearby buddy if you go over.
Wonderful.
That's Toll the Dead. I'll do the Scorching Ray first.
Top one.
Is
yeah.
that Toll the Dead? Oh my god, dang it. I
All
can't
right.
believe.
One of the Scorching Rays hurls out towards the Clockwork Orb, heating up the armor, causing, like, steam and whirring noises to emerge from it, and this thing is dead as it collapses to the ground in a heap.
Do you want me to roll 2 more times, or?
Yes, please.
Okay. I don't know why it didn't roll the first 2 times I clicked it.
I think it is only, programmed to roll the 1. But both of them hit its buddy. That is over half of its maximum hit points.
Yeah!
It is barely hanging on from the fire attack. Like, babbling curses at you in this strange eldritch tongue.
Okay, and for a bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon right here.
Scorching Ray has a spell level, so does Spiritual Weapon. You can only cast 1 spell-leveled spell per your turn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind then. That's my turn.
Okay, cool. It is now Rax's turn.
Okay, I will use Weapon Bond to get the longsword back then.
Boom! The longsword appears in your hand, bypassing the password gateway.
Wonderful. Is this a pathway up here?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna...
Anything that is not a tent, straw, or a house is a pathway.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, there is one up there. Perfect, right. I will move here, and then on this one up here, I'll cast Magic Missile.
Cool.
Just hope to God they don't have shield or anything. Yeah, first level. Yeah,
Alright.
that's 3 times, so 15.
Can you actually roll 1d4 plus 1 twice more for me?
Oh, sure. Give me a sec.
Because I think, like, multi-hit attacks like Magic Missile and Scorching Ray only roll once, which is weird.
Oh, I keep hearing different rules on that. It's either you roll it once and it's times 3, or that. So, twice more then?
Twice more, please.
Okay, I'll do it like this then. Plus 1. Oh, perfect.
Cool. Thank you. Right.
So,
Alright.
12?
12 damage total, yes.
Wonderful.
And
That's
that
it.
is your turn. So,
Yeah. Sorry, enter.
it is now the Clockwork Creatures. Insane babbling echoes through the market stalls as they clamber up on top of them, clamber up on rooftops to get towards you. They have a natural climb speed, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They cannot flank you, unfortunately.
That's fair.
Yeah. So these two are going to, like, pull out more tendrils, spin saw blades on the ends of them, and try to slash at Raxidal.
I'll cast shield for the second one.
Cool. You definitely block the first, but as the other tries to slip past your defenses, you just hold up this barrier, and the blades stop against it harmlessly.
Beautiful.
Another one comes from behind, takes up position on top of one of the stalls, and shoots a firebolt down at you, Raxidal.
Nope.
That is a miss. The others, let me double check what range the spell is. Not very close. So, the one that Malifane can see closest down that pathway clambers onto the stalls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fires a firebolt at Malifane. No.
God.
And then, 2 more are going to, burble, stop, and then burble again, getting closer, and closer. Oop. Alright. That is their turn. As I go to show actual initiative real quick. After all of that, because there's a lot of them, it is Corellian's turn.
Excellent. Let's just do a little measuring here. It's 25. Okay, that's fine. Corellian in that case will not scooch past Rax at all, but at least get close there and make a few attacks against the creature closest. So,
All right.
what is it? Is it shift click for advantage? I
Shift
believe.
click
Yes?
is advantage. Yes.
Excellent. It has been a hot second since I have looked at Forge real fast. We'll just go for the good old war pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so both of those hit, and this one's armor is much weaker than the last one, so with 2 mighty blows, you just do exactly enough damage to kill it. As you just
Excellent,
run it
wonderful.
through until you hit squishy goo underneath the orb, and it collapses dead in front of you.
Lovely. And I think... Yeah, I think that's actually all I'm going to use so far.
Alrighty. It is Solana's turn. But, she sees that these things have no health, basically. So she does not want to waste a whole lot of spells on this. She's gonna hang back, scooch a little bit farther away from Momo so she's not in the way of an area of effect spell. And firebolt the one that Rax hit with Magic Missile. That is a hit, and with a loud kaboom, it is immolated, collapses in a clockwork heap. It's dead.
Sweet.
Right. So, that is Solana's turn, and more clockwork creatures are on the move. There's clanking and whirring as they start moving into position that you can't quite see from where you are, except one clambering over a bridge to get a better look at you. As I double check the range of Firebolt. Oh yeah, Firebolt has more than enough range to hit one of you from here.
Mm-hmm.
So... they are going for Solana and Malifane, the ones that have climbed up onto a bridge. As I pull up the other clockwork creature stat block. Firebolt. Solana. That is one hit as she gets hit with a blast of fire in turn. And then Malifane just casually leans out of the way. I'm sorry, was that supposed to hit me? Right. The others have already moved. So, you hear what vaguely sounds like bellowing orders, again in a language that you do not understand. And... Ooh, there's something it can do. I am looking back over these, Yeah. So, you hear more clambering up onto a bridge, and then a lot of whirring and clanking as, boom, this loud cannon blast echoes through the air, and a burst of energy sails through, heading straight for Momo.
Oh god,
Oh
fuck.
no! Oh my god!
Ooh.
All right.
Do you have warding flare by any chance?
I do.
Cool. You want to use it?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Features and traits? Or just features?
Features,
found
and it should be a reaction, I think.
Yes.
Yep. Alright, so disadvantage makes it a 17 again.
Worth a shot.
Worth a
It's
shot.
just my armor class.
Alright, so BAM! This burst of force hits you straight in the gut, Momo. You take 11 damage, which I'm just going to click and apply to you right now. And I need you to make a strength saving throw to avoid being knocked over from the sheer force of the blast.
Okay.
You are knocked over from the sheer force of the blast. Alright. There's another whir, and boom as it fires again, this time at Corellian. Corellian, you raise your shield and hold your ground fast against the big-ass cannon.
Momo, you pussy.
Broken Bones, never heard of him.
It is now Malaphane's turn.
Okay, Malaphane is going to, I guess take another hide and attempt to get some more sneak attack going, so gonna roll some stealth.
Cool. There's technically
Neat.
a chance.
Neat. Excellent. In that case, because I was a dummy and forgot last turn that Malaphane does actually indeed have a multi-attack, he is going to fire off his rogue bow at the southernmost one that is still alive that he can see that's on top of the roof there.
Cool. Thank you.
So... and we'll roll off sneak attack on one of them. As soon as I can find it. There's a lot going on in the sheet. It's somewhere. There it is.
Yeah. Sneak attack is featured the first active ability, I believe.
Yeah, I rolled it. Got an 11.
That is exactly enough damage to kill it. So Malaphane
Excellent.
ducks back between the stalls. The clockwork creature looks for him, thinking, "Okay, I know you're there. You're shooting my buddies." And then whomp whomp, 2 arrows strike it, and it collapses in a useless heap.
And I'm actually gonna have him move up a little bit to about, say probably here, so he's still kind of behind some cover. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. And it is now Momo's turn.
Okay. Am I prone right now?
You are prone.
Okay.
Get
I'm
up.
gonna take my action to get up, and I can use a bonus action, right?
It's half your movement to get up.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
still have an
in
action.
that case, okay. In that case, I'm gonna use Scorching Ray again on these 3 dummy heads in the back.
Alright.
Come on, baby.
Cool. All of them hit.
Yeah!
Alright. So, I'm gonna apply the nat 20, which is enough to kill, to the right one, so that he is blasted and roasted. And then go right to left with these others, with a boom, and then another boom, as they are both
Shakalaka.
on fire.
Okay, and I don't have
no,
any other
they're on
bonus
fire.
actions to do, so that'll be my turn.
Cool. It is now Raxidal's turn.
Hi, I'm gonna inch forward to see if there's any more about.
Alright. As you get within range, the readied action of one of these clockwork creatures triggers, as it just screams at you, this scream of 1,000 curses from a tongue you don't understand, and yet, somehow, you fear.
Oh.
Gonna need a wisdom saving throw, please.
You do get a plus, you get a +4 from me, because you're
Beautiful.
still with my aura. And
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, come on. Right, indomitable. Fuck that.
Actually, hold on. Friendly creatures within 10 feet of me can't be frightened.
Oh!
Yep. You cannot be frightened. It is absolutely useless. However, the creature did not factor that in.
Oh,
It didn't know.
ow.
Yeah. It didn't factor it in because it did not know.
So
Ouch,
you
my
did not
bones.
use Indomitable, so there, ha!
Cool. Well, since they're the only bunch there, I will cast Shatter and target those two.
Alrighty.
So I'll just center it on, like, this one.
Cool.
It's not gonna hit me, it's fine.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine.
Okay, shatter. There. Cast.
Alright.
Oh my god.
So, righty, lefty. Yeah, they're... Okay. Lefty might make it. Righty just explodes into this storm of clockwork goo and... Well, clockwork and goo, I should be appropriate.
A creature of inorganic mass has disadvantage on the saving throw.
It's organic inside the thing.
Oh,
That's
fuck you, Dalek pricks.
disgusting.
It's got armor on. You know.
Yeah, it's got armor. Are you saying that everyone wearing plate armor thus has disadvantage on shatter?
I sure fucking hope not.
You don't want to give that to me.
Alright.
Alright. Yeah, that is not more than half of his hit points.
Get rid of that.
Lefty will live.
Alright. Well, I'll just take another step. There. Come at me.
Lefty obliges.
Oh, went on. Dumb.
You. Lefty obliges. It was very stupid of him to do that, but Lefty obliges.
Tink.
Tink. Alright, so the fierce spell the other guy had prepared is wasted because no one came into range. So instead, he's gonna see all my friends are dead. And shoot a firebolt at Malifane.
Oh.
Oh no, it actually hit Malifane. Oh.
Oh, 5 damage.
Five
Oh no,
more
how
damage.
terrible. He can take it. He's fine. He's a big boy.
Malifane dramatically is like, oh, ow, owie, ooh, ooh, oh.
And it looks like he wants to retreat, but it hears some burbling orders and holds its ground. So, that is the 2 remaining small fry with their turns. Corellian.
All right. Can make it about to here. And let me measure something real quick. You know what? Fuck it. I haven't used this yet. So Corellian sort of just makes it past this creature, sees a bigger creature, and is like, that is a problem, and is actually going to use their fucking flamethrower.
Alright. You slap down the helmet of the Plate of the Worm, and this gout of fire bursts through to try and, engulf the creature in flames. It makes a dexterity saving throw. Dang.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate roll. Still takes half though.
Still takes half. All
Totally
right.
fine.
It appears to be relatively weathered against fire. I should clarify it doesn't have fire resistance, but it looks to be prepared against that.
Okay, and let me double check something really quickly. I will. Oh, okay. Yeah, I will cast Hunter's Mark on it as well.
Cool. The creature is now marked. Definitely marked. I could not be asked to look for the marked symbol, so...
Totally fine.
Alright. In that case, it is Solana's turn. And we can go ahead and get rid of a template real quick. Solana's gonna scooch a little closer. She's getting real sick and tired of the small fry, preventing them from getting closer. So Solana is going to cast Scorching Ray. So, that is...
Nice.
1 on lefty, and then 2 on righty. So... And the second one on righty. Damn, Solana just rolling straight 10s. Lefty is amazingly still hanging on. Righty will have to make a he's gonna have to make a system shock check because, oops, that was a lot of his hit points. Damn! These things have the worst hit points in the world, but nothing will stop them from hanging on, apparently. And does she have a bonus action? No, is the answer. So, actually, Solana is a little curious. I'm going to say her bonus action is trying to figure out what the hell these things are called. Solana gives a knowing nod. They're called Ahu Nixta.
Cool.
Good to know.
Yeah. I'd tell you more, but apparently we're in mortal danger, so maybe wait a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it after this.
Yeah, we'll make it out.
Alright. So, the Ahu Nixta are very, very smart. So they see, hey, fear did nothing. I am not going to waste my time trying that. And instead, the one that Corellian marked extends several clockwork tendrils, twirls them in a circle, and is going to try telekinetically lifting Corellian up into the air.
That is a very long block of text. Holy shit.
So I gotta make an intelligence check versus your strength check.
Good luck.
Come on, big money. Not save, just check. Wow, incredible.
Wow!
Oh,
Alright.
I don't know if I rolled twice, sorry, but...
It's all good. So, Corellian, you are just prepared for battle when you feel this force, like, grab hold of you and start hoisting you into the air, helpless.
Eat this, alright, fine.
what level spell is this? Oh, it's 5th level, fuck that.
Level. Alright.
Oh my god, what the hell?
The other creatures are going to... One on the right is going to clamber down, see Malifane, and shoot off a firebolt at him. That's a miss. The others clamber along a bridge, holding their position. And then comes the big boy. The cannon
Chungus.
whirs once again, as this time he is going to fire on Solana. That's not his stat block, that is the small fry stat block. Go away. Solana's AC is poor, but that still misses. I believe since you're restrained by telekinesis, Corellian, attack rolls against you have advantage.
Oh,
I... Find control... Ability check... Suspended... It doesn't specifically...
It says
say I'm
restrained in your telekinetic grip.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, sure.
Alright. In that case... In that case, BAM! Being unable to move, this time you are hit dead on by a arcane cannon. And I think you have disadvantage on strength checks while you're restrained? Or is that affecting-
Restrained is attack rolls have advantage. It's disadvantage on dex checks.
Alright,
Dex
so
saves.
yeah, no, you can still hang on even though you're hoisted in midair.
Okay, let me make a strength save real quick then.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. You're built different, baby.
I sure fucking am. I am the muscle kobold I always wanted to be.
Alright. It is now Malifane's turn.
Cool. I'm going to have him double check something real fast. Okay, let's see. Let's do some measuring real fast.
shit.
I'm going to have Malifane move forward and get a little bit of high ground.
Cool.
about like here, and Malphane is actually going to fire off a flashbang arrow at this large one over here.
Cool. All right. So you fire directly into what you perceive to be the eyes of this particular creature, and with a crack, it bursts into light. As we see if it survives that. It does not have a saving throw bonus, so no, it wonders, hey, where were you aiming? Oh god! And it's just blasted with light and stunned until the start of Malphane's next turn. This one
Awesome.
cannot do a thing.
Bonus action hide, baby.
Bonus action to hide, baby! Man, what
Can't
the
see
hell
me.
was that? They can't see me, my time!
Alright, that'll be Malphane's turn then.
Cool. Momo.
Momo!
I see measuring happening.
I see measuring.
So-
I hear nothing.
Dear God.
Help me! Oh my gosh.
There you are.
There we go.
Oh, I don't know why this is happening. Okay, Momo is gonna fly about up here, and he is going to cast Blade Barrier right in front of these giant boys.
Cool.
Gucci.
If I can actually get down there and get to it. Yeah, boy!
Alrighty. With this loud series of shink, shink, shink unsheathing noises, this wall of swords whirls around and forms a 100-foot long barrier. That's gonna be plenty long, so let me actually draw the thing. Just in front of them, or
Yeah, just in front of them.
cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one. Bam. A massive barrier of swords in front of them, interrupting their ranged attacks. Nice.
Cool.
Yeah!
Yeah. Alrighty. It is now Rax's turn.
The one in front of me's still alive, right?
Yes.
Not for much longer, bish. Nice.
Yeah, with a final swing of your longsword, you sever the whirring blade tendrils on its arms. It looks down at them, looks up, and collapses in a heap.
Oh, I feel a bit bad now.
Nice.
Okay, and then... Yeah, I'm gonna just creep a little bit closer, just scuttle under Corelli.
That's scuttle.
And yeah, I'll just prep myself just in case.
Alright.
Yep.
So, the last one is, like, looking at all its dead buddies, looking very scared, looks like he's about to run away, but then stops at the babbling of the big boy in the most advanced-looking clockwork machine. So, eeny, meeny, miny, fires off a firebolt at Aurelian. A poor
Nice,
decision, really.
nice. It makes sense. I have disadvantage on any dex shit,
Okay.
so.
Mhm.
Well, Firebolt isn't a attack roll.
Firebolt's an
Anyway.
attack roll.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Fucking
You just kind of hit, and you look over like, really?
red dragon armor, baby.
Red Dragon Armor, baby!
Really?
It is now Corellian's turn.
Excellent, wonderful. So I just want to. So
Okay.
as your action, each round for the duration, you can exert your will on one creature. So if I would, per se, like, teleport out of the telekinetic holds, would I be able to, still, like, attack and shit? Even if I was still under the telekinesis, I could still teleport out of it, right?
Let me see. Because
Yeah, just want to
theoretically,
be
yes.
sure. Because I restrained just prevents speed. So I don't have any speed. But I can still attack, technically.
No, until the end of your next turn, the creature is restrained. So I don't think if you teleported, you'd still be restrained, but you would be able to attack it somehow if you restrainedly teleported over and tried like hitting it with your shoulder or something.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. That's fine. In that case, Curling is going to use Misty Step and is going to go right there, baby, and make a few attacks, because why
Hell
the
yeah.
fuck not? And just my war pick. Wow, yikes. That sucks.
Ow.
Ouchies.
14 hits.
Hey, 14 hits, that's still something, and I get a plus d6 because of Hunter's Marks. Let me roll that real quick.
Alright.
Something.
Nice. It's something. I believe it does have to make a concentration check because
Exactly.
you did get hit. Yeah, no, it's still holding you.
Worth a shot. I'm also still right here, so...
You're also still right there. Alright. It is Solana's turn. And she sees everyone of the Ahunixta grouped up in relatively close proximity.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
She is going to start forming a fireball in her hands, twist it around a bit, and then hurl it with her custom spell, 6th level spell, Bouncing Fireball.
Yo, that's sick!
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Holy shit.
Which is basically, I cast a fireball here, I cast a fireball there, I cast a fireball here.
And go
So-
fuck yourselves! Oh,
So-
that's so sick.
That
So
is
with a
amazing.
roar and a flash of light, there's just boom, boom, boom as a fireball bounces around the market square, hitting all of the Ahunixta, and like
Okay.
skirt and swooshing around Corellian without hitting them in the slightest, because Solana also has sculpt spells.
Yo!
Oh my god!
God, I love Solana. She's so great.
Mhm.
This is so broken.
Yep. Alright, so I'm not even gonna roll for the little guy. If he succeeds, he's still dead. So, bam. No health for you. Then, for the big guy, dexterity, save. This is gonna be bad. Yeah, no, he takes full damage as wham, a firebolt slams into his armor. And then, from left to right, the other Ahunixta. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think only Lefty takes half damage, which, unfortunate, but he's still pretty hurt. So, there is half damage. Wait, not for you. Not for you, sir. Half damage.
Not for you,
Damage.
sir.
Damage. Damage. And then another concentration check because he got hit with the freaking fireball.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, Corellian, you're doing just fine.
Wow.
Excellent!
Alright. It is now the Ahunixta's turn. The one that is marked by Corellian is going to see that it's in combat, unspool the tendrils, and unfurl them into a whole bunch of weapons, like a saw blade comes for Corellian first. Miss.
Nice.
Yeah, a big ol' whacking stick is a miss. And then another big ol' whacking stick is a miss as Corellian, bang, 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 you hold up everything against the, everything against the big ol' onslaught of attacks. The other creatures, one's gonna scoot around the barrier, shoot off a firebolt at Malifane, miss completely, and ashamedly walk back into position. Another one is going to scooch around, see his buddy, shoot a firebolt at Corellian, which is another miss, and then scooch a little bit closer to jab out a pointing spear at Corellian, because it's got extended range. That's a miss. Damn, Corellian is just tanking all of this.
T-tank, baby! That's all I
Alright.
have. Kind of shit.
The third Ahunixta, or the fourth Ahunixta rather, is stunned and cannot do anything.
Lol.
Which leaves the big guy as... Oh, he also has telekinesis. Hey, fuck you, the giant fireball throwing mage. I bet your strength is ass. Is Solana's strength ass? Yes.
Oh, no!
Yeah, Solana is hoisted up into the air as the clockwork creature prevents her from doing any spells. Unfortunate.
Ouch.
Malaphane's turn.
Excellent. Well, attack rolls against creatures that are stunned have disadvantage, so he's going to fire off a couple of arrows on that stunned creature, because,
Cool.
it just makes sense.
Alright. Both of them hit.
Excellent, and we will throw out some sneak attack on one of them.
Cool.
And, Malaphane is the fastest, so he's actually probably going to go back to try and help Solana. Let me measure out. Yeah, he can make it to her just fine. And he'll have to wait to help
Easily.
her, but that'll be...
Yeah, easily. Malaphane's a fast boy.
So, and that would be movement, attack, and I don't think he has a bonus action I want to use, so that would be it.
Cool. It is Momo's turn.
Okay, so Momo's gonna fly about here, so he's closer
Ooh.
to this bigger fellow, and he is gonna blast him with 3 whole scorching rays.
Kerblam!
Kablam, yeah. Go for it.
You wouldn't have advantage because the stun is worn off at this point, so...
That's fine.
Still a good roll.
just let you know. Yes, tight.
Very tight. I believe that is just enough to destroy it as bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, blasts of fire come soaring into the creature's exoskeleton clockwork orb thing. It starts hissing, whirring, smoking, and then bursts open an escape valve at the back as the fleshy, tentacled growth beneath it ejects from the clockwork orb. So it's
Disgusting.
It is
Nice.
disgusting, yes.
Momo turns around at it as it explodes dramatically.
And this is
Sunglasses.
the gross orb thing. It still is alive. It can still move and do actions on its turn, but the orb is destroyed.
Oh,
Yes.
All right. Rax.
Well, thank you for moving those two into range, because I'll just shatter them. Yes, please, thank you.
Alrighty.
Ah, one passes.
Yeah. Damn. These creatures are rolling really well on saving throws today, as this loud whir and bang echoes through the air, hitting the creatures. And you wonder, why isn't Shatter super effective on them? They have inorganic matter on them.
What
Eh.
can you do?
What can you do?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. It is now Corellian's turn.
Well, I'm no longer under telekinesis, but I'm also just gonna do a couple of attacks, because that's what we are good at, so... Yeah, I think those hit.
Okay, so the first attack is enough to smash the first thing open.
Cool.
As you break
Captain.
open and rip it open, and it also bursts out through the escape hatch.
Will you indulge me and allow me to use my bonus action to move Hunter's Mark to that one?
I will.
Thank you, you're lovely. I'm gonna move, and then my second attack goes, against that one.
Yeah, I figured. Alright, so. Kablam.
6.
Kablam. I believe that might be over half of its max hit points, too, so. Ah, damn it.
Pretty good. Pretty good. We'll allow that, but still.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
still, it's looking real rough. Real rough.
Thank you for indulging me.
Mm-hmm. Right. You are welcome for the indulgence. Solana really wants to get out of this telekinesis. So she is restrained, and I will have to double check to see if she's got any verbal only spells. I don't think she does, though. Nope. She's just gonna squirm, because she can't really do much else. And does it work? Yeah, no. It's a real bad squirming attempt, unfortunately. Alright. So, the Ahu Nixta. The one that first burst out, that Malithane shot, and then Scorching Ray burst out, is crawling away from the battle. Thinking, fuck this.
Coward.
Yeah, it's dashing to get out, actually, so... Whoop, 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 whoop.
Whoop, 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 whoop,
Yeah.
whoop, whoop.
They are smart, so they know what disengage is, so... one is gonna try and the one that was burst out of Corellian, and by Corellian is gonna try disengaging, not knowing that they have the Sentinel feat.
Yeah. So let's make an attack real quick. Oh my god, Ev. Yeah, I think that hits.
I'm not... You know what, I could roll for damage, but that's half of its maximum hit points and it's a crit, so I'm just gonna say... Slam! You just drive your war pick straight through it again and rip it in two. It is...
Oh, you're not going anywhere.
deceased. Alright. The one that is currently fighting Corellian, however, will not retreat while it still has its armor working. And it's gonna go for Blades. Miss. Scepter. Oh, hey, it
Hit!
actually does manage to poke you.
4 HP.
4 hit points, wow. Oh my god, 4 whole damage to Corellian, amazing. And then, smack. No smack.
I'm gonna have fun with you.
Alright. His buddy is going to clamber up. Shoot a firebolt at Solana since she is incapacitated. Damn. When these things hit hard, they can hit hard. It's just usually not so much. Solana's looking alright, all things considered, but he clambers up to be on the bridge beside his buddy. And then, I believe, telekinesis, you have to manually make another action to hold him in place. So,
Yeah.
that is not the best use of the... Is it the best use of the Cataphract Stern? I think it is, actually, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, get fucked, Solana. Get absolutely fucked, as she is hoist further into the air. She's like 60 feet in the air now.
Oh, shit.
Oh, she's gonna drop. Ugh.
So, so it does any check that has to be made, does it have to be made against that 24, or does a new thing get rolled? Okay, because Malvane's whole deal was he was gonna try and help Solana, but now that he thinks about it, he's not really the strongest person himself, so probably the best way for him to help Solana would be to fight the thing that's holding her, and that would be the far right one over here, correct?
Center one.
Center one.
Got a purple background.
Purple boy. Okay, excellent. So in that case, Malvane is going to advance a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Going
no
to
action to
use-
clamber up on top of the stalls. There are enough of them and they're low enough that you can just do that.
Yeah, and he's going to take his bonus action stealth, because, why not? Yeah, why not?
Why not? There is a chance. It's not a good
There is
chance.
a
but there's
chance. Excellent, very good, and he's going to make 2 attacks.
All right.
Oh, yep.
Both of them hit.
Excellent, wonderful, lovely. Actually, there is a feature that I saw earlier. I can expend... Wait, no. There was one that allowed me to re-roll the damage. I'm just trying to find it.
Yeah, you can re-roll... It's Piercer, I believe, and you can re-roll damage on a piercing attack.
Yes. Let me find that real quick, so that the team can have it. Yeah, so once for reroll, so that'll be 1d6 plus 5.
You can just roll Robo again, it'll take whatever damage.
It's fine, I already got it done.
Cool.
And then we can do, the whole sneak attack thing as well on one of them,
nice.
which is pretty nice. So, yeah.
So that does increase this, I believe that will increase the saving throw it has to make to 14 or higher. And it's not even close.
Woo!
So the good news is it's no longer holding Solana. The bad news is she's 60 feet in the air.
She's a big girl, she'll be fine.
Solana looks down, sighs. Days like this, I wish I prepared for the fall.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I love her so much. God.
Momo.
Momo's about to fucking clobber this guy. He's gonna fly about right here, because he's gonna be a bold boy today. And
my
he
God.
is gonna cast Harm at 6th level.
Oh! Damn!
Oh, big guns. Okay, fuck.
No fucking mercy today.
Not today.
Alright. So,
Nice.
you hold out your hand, and then BAM! This wave of necrotic energy washes over the clockwork creature and, starts crumpling its armor inward. It looks really badly injured now.
Wonderful.
Oh, that's interesting for whenever you reduce the clockwork armor's hit points. That's really interesting. I'm looking at Harm's effect.
Ooh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty.
Yummy.
Cool. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Awesome. Rax.
Cool. I'll follow suit. I'll cast, not as effective, but I'll cast Chill Touch on it.
Okay.
Oh, God, it hits.
Yeah, that is definitely a hit.
Fuck!
No mercy, Rax, today, as you just
Yeah.
hold out your hand and boom, this ghostly hand scratches through the clockwork armor, and it looks really bad. In between its burbling and, shouting out eldritch curses, you can hear coughing and wheezing from within the clockwork shell.
Oh? I don't recognize it, do I?
Nope, it's not a language any of you speak.
Oh, fair enough.
Corellian.
Well, the time has come, and the time has come to do 2 more attacks, so we're gonna do that.
Awesome.
Cool, so that's...
Alright. So-
really, really quickly, I'm just double-checking Anders Mark real fast. Whenever I hit it with a weapon attack, so that's...
It's dead. It's dead with the first attack. So it was
Oh,
fucking
in
real
that
bad. It was
case.
dead with the first attack.
Ah, darn, not quite. Unfortunate. But if it's dead with the first attack, I will use my bonus action to move it to that middle one, and also move to as far as I can.
Cool. I believe multi-attack does not specify you have to do it with the same weapon, so you could technically throw a javelin.
Ooh, thank you. You're so fucking kind. Don't mind if I do.
That is a hit.
At my 1d6. Disgusting. Also, Yeah, it wouldn't be melee, so the advanced the radiant
Cool.
doesn't apply.
All right. You huck your javelin as you approach the creature, and with a smash, it smashes into what you think is a very vital part, because it starts sparking and flailing before everything collapses, an escape hatch opens, and the creature inside slowly crawls out. But harm has reduced its maximum hit points, technically, by over what its maximum hit points are. So it just crawls out, hissing, gasping, and then rotting into dust before your eyes. It is dead.
Rip, brother.
Cool, yeah, that's my turn.
Alright. It is now Solana's turn. As she falls to the ground.
She's doing great. She's doing such a good job.
Whomp! As she falls to the ground, face first, curses in Elvish, and slowly gets up. I think falling ends your turn.
Honestly, not the worst damage roll, all things considered. She's doing okay.
She is at like half health right now, so...
Yeah, she's doing okay.
Oh, she's fine.
So, the last surviving Ahu Nixta sees everything that's going on. Well, I say last surviving, but there's another one that's in, like, ooze form that's scooching out, dashing away. He is off of the map.
Oh,
The last
hell.
surviving
Okay.
one sees where this is going, turns tail and fucking books it.
No, okay.
Do any of you want to give chase?
Yes. Isn't the blade barrier still here?
Blade barrier's
Let me
still there.
double check something. You know, I can.
Can I fireball
Actually, no.
him?
I probably won't be able to kill him in one turn, so it doesn't make sense for me to use Misty Step to go after
Can I
him.
fireball
So
him?
You can. It likely will not kill him in one turn.
Damn it!
yeah. In that case, I'll let him go since it's. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be able to nuke him in one turn without giving up resources I wouldn't want to have later.
Ooh. He might alert someone, though.
Yeah. Well.
Alright. The Ahu Nixta flee, burbling and cursing in their eldritch tongue, as eventually the sounds of mechanical whirring leave the marketplace.
Whoops!
Momo, do you mind taking down this? Krellian gestures at, the whirling wall of fucking blades.
Oh yes. He raises his hands and like wisps, like brushes at the air, like he's brushing away smoke, and it fades away.
You just like wave your hands around, foof, 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 and swords disappear into smoke that is waved away.
Thank you. Excellent. Wonderful. Well, one got away. So there's that. But, how's everyone back here doing? Says Krellian, who's laser focused on the front the entire time.
Could be better.
You alright?
I believe I am tasting my own blood.
Well,
Momo runs
holy...
over and he's
No,
gonna cast
Momo. Save it. I've got a bit more going on. Because Momo, please save your spell slots. Krellian will expend 40 points of lay on hands. So, yeah.
Cool.
Spicy.
On Solana?
Yes.
Gotcha. He is now back up to mostly full.
Excellent, and I'll throw it up in here for chat, so, yeah.
There's a beholder statue there.
Yeah, you explore the market, and deep in one of the clearings, there is a large fountain with a beholder statue in the middle of it.
Can I look at it a bit closer?
Sure, yeah.
I jumped in.
You leap into the water and get beheld.
Yay! But is there
Alright.
anything like around it or like in the fountain?
You take a look around the fountain. There's a plaque saying this was dedicated to commemorate basically a war between dwarves, beholders, and other beasties in the Underdark.
Yeah. Great. Well, the problem we have now is that if that one got away, anything could come for us at any minute.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I feel like that's kind of our life as long as we're in any district. We're always kind of on the run. So
So I've noticed.
so that being said, if it ran, I mean, it only knows our last location, so that means we can probably
Press
keep
on.
moving. Exactly. And that being said, there was, Anlin's Anvil that, matches the
Yeah.
merchant group that the key was last passed on to, so we at least have a location to move towards, right?
Yes.
Well, then
Perfect.
let's maybe start heading toward it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, unless anyone thinks there's anything worth scavenging in this area. I don't think so, but I mean,
I could do a quick investigation just in case.
yeah, maybe you and Mal could take a look at that.
Cool, yeah, go for
Sure.
it.
Is there water
Um,
still running in the fountain?
It's standing water.
I'll have
Ah.
Malifane roll an investigation too.
No, this all looks like crap.
Alright. All looks like crap to you. Yeah, most of what you can see around the area are like decrepit stalls, several different sets of guardhouses, presumably from different directions, in which to enter the marketplace, and Anlin's Anvil. Very few of the guardhouses have labels, just like North Guardhouse, West Guardhouse, etc.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, all right then. I mean, if we wanted to chance it, we could probably maybe hole up somewhere and take an hour or so, but that would be a chance. It would be, sort of balancing the whole find a place, stay 1 hour, give people the chance to find us, maybe, or, move forward as we are, resources depleted. I don't know. It's up to you lot at this point.
Well, I say at least we find somewhere to hide and maybe take a short rest.
You think that would be worth it?
Maybe if we go a little bit further, not directly in the spot to hide, but maybe just a couple corridors down.
Yeah, let's see if we can find somewhere that is, at least fortifiable. Solana, what do you think?
I'd say perhaps getting some rest would be ideal. You don't look in the best shape yourself, Corellian, and I'd hate to find anything mean inside, well, any of these buildings, really.
Yes, if you don't get a rest soon, I will be forced to use a healing spell on you, and I know you don't want that.
Yeah, it's I'm doing fine, but it's not worth it. You save your energy in terms of that.
Momo
Let's
gestures
find a
at
place.
a half health Corellian.
Crowley's doing great. I don't know what you're talking about. They took like 4 fucking damage. No, yeah, but let's look around for a place that's a little bit farther away from the square, but also like fortifiable, a place where we could hold up pretty decently. Hopefully a place with like one entrance and exit that we could watch, and that sort of thing.
Hello and welcome back again. I'm going to punch Spectrum in the goddamn throat.
Throat chop, karate chop, wata!
So I believe, before we got cut off by Hell Internet, we were talking about finding somewhere relatively fortified to stay, so that you could take a short rest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. With Malifane's 26 investigation, doesn't take too long to find something. There is a house that's slightly more intact than all the rest, in that it is not collapsed in on itself. So you hole up in there and take a moment to catch your breath. Solana will just use 2 hit dice to get back up to full, as I do some rolling.
Where are my dice? Maybe. I am perhaps a fool. Oh, there we go. Okay. Gotta hit the short rest button.
I don't need a short rest because I'm healthy.
You're gooch.
I'm very gooch.
It is only letting me do like one at a time. That's cool.
That's real
That's
stupid.
cool.
Whilst we're taking the short rest, can I talk to all of them?
Absolutely, yes.
So,
Oh my god. Sorry.
sorry. Just whilst we have a moment to breathe, keep this as brief as you want. I mean, me and Malafane have been speaking and getting to know each other a little bit, but I don't know much about you two. Three.
Hello, I'm also here.
Yes, hi.
Cool. Love that.
Love
Sorry,
it, like,
I'm
through the
struggling
wall.
with UI, so you guys go ahead and do that while
Sorry.
I do this.
Well, I don't really like to talk about myself.
Oh.
My apologies.
No, it's all right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pry. I just was just curious.
No. I just not really asked to talk about myself a lot, so. What do you want to know?
Well, just. I mean, I know now about all your circumstances for doing this, but. Well, just. Likes, dislikes, family, that kind of thing. Just.
Well, for family, I had, sorry. I had a mentor named Arias. He basically raised me when I was found as an egg still. He taught me everything he knew, taught me about magic, taught me about healing and other things. And then we came to Irion, and then he unfortunately sacrificed himself to save me and this crew, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
it's it's okay. It's just
Kind of pats you on the shoulder. Sounds like he was a wonderful man.
he wipes his eye, 'cause lets out a shaky breath. Thank you. But what about you? You've got new family?
Well, there are my twin girls, Raya and Upo. They're currently with my sister Artemis. I told them vacation, but they always know it's business.
I see.
It's been... I mean, I was planning on maintaining contact, but after the boat sinking and everything and realizing how messed up it was here, it's been a struggle.
I can understand that.
But, yes, we're all living in Kingsmarch right now. I moved away from Irion when I was about 14, 15, I think?
Out of character, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't Momo and Arias from Kingsmarch?
I believe so, yes.
Oh
You're
my
from
God.
Kingsmarch?
Yes.
I'm also from Kingsmarch!
Really?
What part of Kingsmarch are you from? North
Fuck.
side, east side, south side?
Yes.
A place. Probably like the capital area if he's a knight.
Oh, I see. From the south side near the ocean. You've got a
Really?
little monastery by there. It's got a beautiful view of a cliff.
That sounds wonderful. I mean, I've traveled there a couple times on travels or just breaks. I wish I could go there more.
I wish I could go back.
Well, maybe when all this is over, you'll have the chance.
I hope so. I'd love to show you guys all where I grew up.
I mean, I would love to accompany you.
That would be wonderful.
Smiles. And then he looks
Smiles
at,
back.
he looks at, Solana and see if she says anything.
No living family.
Oh.
Well, how did you He kind of like starts twiddling his thumbs, trying to think of basic conversation questions. What's your favorite color?
Green, he says, raising an eyebrow.
That's a fantastic color. I have not a lot of green on my body, but it's not
I noticed.
he just throws his head in his hands and starts laughing to himself. I'm so bad at conversations.
I also
Well-
noticed.
What are the forests like?
Solana shrugs. Different these days. Moved away several years ago after the majority of my family died. Came back when I had to report that my grandmother had passed on. In that time, National Laura had been rebuilt. Lizard folk had taken over much of the territory that was my home.
Oh.
What were
My
things like for
apologies.
you as a child?
Sorry, could you say that again, Momo?
My apologies. What were things like for you as a child? Do you have any fond memories?
Lana, drugs, fine. Typical elven childhood, really. Spent my life studying, reading books, and the like.
Man, I know how that feels. I read books every day.
Yes, I was the studies type as well.
Well, it wasn't really by choice.
Well,
We
I'd
just
assume
get,
if you had a I'd assume if you had a mentor, then he wouldn't have been that lax in
Yeah.
study.
Although
No
we
self-respecting
were allowed
mentor is-
outside. Oh, I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
I just said no self-respecting mentor is. You can go ahead.
When I studied in the monastery, we were always allowed to go outside for at least, once every 2 hours.
Was it nice?
Oh yes, the garden we went in, the courtyard was beautiful. It had plants all around it. It had a garden, had a small trail. He kind of reminisces and just kind of melts into his hand, like melts his head into his hand and reminiscing of the memories.
What things grew there?
Oh, all kinds of things. All kinds of herbal plants used to heal, used to make medicines, all sorts of things. My favorite was the lavenders. I love the smell of lavender. It always helped me go to sleep. Sometimes I would fall asleep in the lavender pastures. I would always get in so much trouble for that.
That's beautiful.
Lana's
We,
just nodding, listening to the description of the garden, idly messing with a piece of broken Ahunix armor in her hand.
We have a rose garden at home. My wife started it, and then after she passed away, I couldn't stand to let them all wilt, so Artemis helped us to keep maintaining it, and it's still there. Still beautiful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's nice. Roses are nothing if not incredibly resilient. It's what I've always liked about them.
And what about you, Corellian?
What about me? Sorry, what are you asking?
As in your life or likes and dislikes, all that stuff.
I mean, I haven't really been up to too much other than, the general Krellin sort of like waves their claw around situation. Actually, a recent return to Irion. I was out on the waves for about a year after my wife passed. She also really liked roses, so that's kind of why we had the gardens commissioned at Baton Rance. So
Oh.
yeah. But no, just sort of been around and about here and there, helping, these lot and getting caught up in things. And I mean, I grew up around Merdeel, but I'm not exactly clever with my claws as much as other people are. So no, just sort of went off on a different path, so to speak. So yeah.
Well, I mean, that's fine. Everyone goes on their own paths for a reason.
Yeah, that's definitely for sure. I have to ask, Axerdal. I know you're here incredibly well, I know all of us are here incredibly circumstantially, but you, more than anyone, have sort of been thrown into this situation apropos of complete coincidence. Why are you doing this with all of us? Why are you down here?
That's a very good question. We've been through so much already, so much chaos, chaotic nonsense, fighting, all of this. Why?
Well, when we defeat the source, then Nirion's safe, right?
Aye.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of repair to do afterwards, but
Yeah, but what's in it for you?
knowing my homeland is safe. I have so many fond memories here. I can't stay in King's March and watch everything burn. Look, whatever you've all done, because apparently you've done a lot. That
Don't rub me in with them, says Solana, holding up her hands.
well, this civil war, we've made peace with it and we've put that aside. So what matters is what happens now. You all had your reasons on what's happened before, and that's not in my place to judge.
That's that's really your angle with all this.
Yes. I mean, people make... I mean, he kind of looks a bit downcast at this. People make decisions. Sometimes you don't understand them, and sometimes you just can't understand them, and that's okay to an extent. I just... As long as things here are all right.
As long as it's for the good
I
of
can-
everyone. Right?
Well, that's very noble of both of you. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate the work you are all doing as well.
And I appreciate you for coming to help along.
Until the end.
Till the end.
The end, Solana says, tossing aside her little Ahu Nixta device she was messing with.
Anything interesting concerning that?
I can't make heads or tails of the thing. Mostly it just got me to thinking. I came home and discovered that my city had been replaced by a factory where my old garden used to lie. And we still apparently have a long way to go, if that is any indication.
That's
I
all
mean-
to hear.
I guess Crowley will, take a part of the armor and stow it away since we didn't get a chance to do that with the earlier one. I mean, when we get back to base, I guess it might be worth leaving this behind to have people take a look at it, so... something.
Perhaps. I'm sure at the very least Scamuel might have a chance of understanding.
Oh, Scamuel will love this.
Yeah. Well, I'm mostly doing better. How about you all? You ready to move on?
Fit as a fiddle.
Yes, I'm set.
I'm well recovered, yes.
Great. Let's head out then.
Tally ho.
All right.
Tally.
To Anlin's Anvil, then, I assume.
Yes.
Generally, actually, did the squishy bit of the creature, did it flee towards that area or not?
It fled towards that area. Since you spent an hour short resting, you have no idea where it could be now.
That's fine. Just the general direction is okay, interesting.
All right. You head to Anlin's Anvil. The door is ever so slightly swinging off of its hinges. It's a big old stone building, and you can feel heat emanating from it basically immediately as you go there. You
Hate that.
You hate that, apparently, but you walk through the gates, and immediately, like, flickering lights come to view. You get the feeling like this place is actively being worked on as a forge, because you can hear, like, fire crackling, lights glowing, and all in all, it seems like the place is relatively active, despite the market having been flooded long, long ago.
Well, left or right?
Actually, would it be possible for Malifane to send out his little spider to do a little bit of reconnaissance to see what perhaps is going
Ooh.
on before we go further into the building?
That
Sure,
is good
absolutely.
thinking.
Cool. He does that then. He sends Anuki out to, give us an idea of what's exactly actively going on inside.
All right. Anuki skitters along the ground, looks inside. Looks like there is an active forge. No one is really running it, but hovering above it, basically this huge oven with all sorts of openings for things to be shoved inside, taken out of to heat them up, is a large humanoid figure with, like, deep red skin, a scimitar sheathed at his side. Anuki can feel heat coming from, obviously, the fire around him, but also from this figure that does not appear to have taken any notice of Anuki, because Anuki is just a tiny spider.
Is it a Viking?
Oh no, when I say humanoid, I failed to mention the size. This guy is big, this guy is beefy, this is like
chungus.
8 feet tall, 400 pounds of muscle. This is a beefy boy.
And is that on the left side or the right side?
Anuki does some more scouting around. Both sides go to the same main chamber.
Okay, good to know. Should we approach them?
Well,
Maybe. I don't like the idea of splitting up. Maybe the 3 of us could go one side. 2 stronger people could go the other.
Well, if it's all leading to the same place, we could just go together, maybe.
I mean, we don't. I mean, I guess.
I mean, the other question is, do we want to go in with the attempt to speak, or are we just going in looking for a fight? Because personally, I'm just kind of assuming that anyone
if
we
had
find.
some idea what that creature was.
Yes.
Probably yes.
Would anyone like to help me?
Yes.
Sure.
Alrighty. Advantage. Oh, nice!
Spicy.
Nice.
Solana takes in Malifane's description through Anuki's eyes. Ifriti.
A what?
That is an
What?
Ifriti.
I have no idea what that is.
Do I know what that is?
Momo, you have vaguely heard of Ifriti. They're one of the names that was lumped in a lesson about genies.
Oh, with free tea.
Oh my
Okay.
god! Oh, it's like a kind of genie of sorts.
Oh, great.
it is an Afriti, and one that I am struggling to think of why it would be here. Normally they would not waste time manning a forge alone.
Enslaved, perhaps?
A very likely guess. And one that I would imagine that they particularly hate, considering Afriti are usually the ones doing the slaving.
Oh,
Ah. Well, we might be able to bargain with him.
Well, what would it take? I mean, you mentioned that, Freety are the type to usually do that sort of thing. I mean, what kind of magic or contract would be able to hold a person like that in servitude?
Very powerful magic.
Oh, Christ.
I would say if we bargain with caution. Even the idea of bargaining with things that the elemental rulers deem lesser tends to end very badly for us.
Well,
So, sorry, Rax.
no, I was about to say, well, whoever's got the best gift of the gab should take the lead on this.
That is what says a lot.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine going in, weapons blazing, because personally, I figure that any basically living thing we find down here is going to be in league with, the mind flayers in some way or another.
Well, true, but if this one is enslaved, then... And also, if it's this powerful, then maybe avoiding combat might be better. Unless later on, if it's dragged in to attack us again. Well, we can see. We can start with conversation, and then if he starts up, then we start up.
I'm sorry, what am I supposed to do? Just sort of walk up and be like, oh, I sort of noticed that you're the only forge that's working in the underground, underwater sunken city of Yohlrum. I'm just here to look over your wares. What am I supposed to do?
Right, point taken.
I guess we can go forth and I can sort of do the whole, oh, we'll try to help you escape your bondage sort of thing, but that's not exactly a thing that we can promise.
I'm sorry, just enslavement in general makes me uncomfortable. It's complicated.
Oh, no, trust me,
Solana
understand.
holds up 2 fingers.
Yes.
I really have to say, not liking slavery, and it's complicated, I would like to think I'm a very smart woman. It does not seem complicated to me.
It's okay, Rax. And Crowley sort of reaches up to pat Rax's our forearm because he can't really reach the shoulder. Just it's all right. I have definitely slaughtered slavers out of nowhere before with no provocation, because no, it's not fans of slavers out here personally. So yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Why don't we approach and then just see the general reaction they have to us?
Yeah, I guess the more we know about the situation, the more we can brainstorm and troubleshoot and hopefully offer, as long as, they weren't told to slaughter us on sight or anything. But
God, I hope.
That, I guess.
All
Sorry,
right.
you hope?
No, I don't hope. I just...
I just... All right, bold as brass. Let's fucking go introduce ourselves, say hi, and be like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Hi.
Bold as brass. I love that attitude. To the right, to the right. Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Ooh, this looks cool. Ah, there he is. Oh, he's beautiful.
Yep, he's a big old beefy boy.
Oh, he's just having a nice time. Being a slave.
All right. You step around the corner, peering into the room. Your footsteps echo in the chamber, and the Afriti stops, turns in your direction, raises a brow, stands up to his full height, looks down his nose at you. and then looks down, squints. You are not golems, nor are you undead, nor illithid.
No,
Are you here to free me?
Well,
I mean, what would it take to do so?
Anlin, and then he curses in Ignan, which Malifane winces at because it's a very nasty curse. The one who bound me here. His ritual papers survived the flood. If those are to be found and destroyed, I can leave this miserable abode.
Oh, fuck me, so you've been down here ever since...
For ages and ages I have waited here to make the forge run for any who needed services. Without a single hint of respect.
Yeah, God's above, I imagine.
yeah.
Do you have any idea of where this contract could be being held?
Had I any idea, I would have buried the place in fire long ago.
I am gonna use locate object.
Go for it!
Yeah, dude.
No! Let's just break the game.
Ain't breaking the game if that's the intended use.
Accio ritual papers.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, getting a description from the Afridi, because he's smart, he's magical, he knows what locate object is. You cast the spell and immediately are pinged to its location in this inactive forge right here.
Oh!
Momo is.
It's hidden among
Momo
the ash,
doesn't
and then as you
hidden-
brush it away, it's clear as day. It was like magically hidden.
Can I do some flavor text real quick?
Yes.
Okay, so when he does the locate object spell, he doesn't say anything. He just like walks over, reaches inside, pulls out the papers, blows on them, brushes them off, and holds them up.
He heard the chuckle, so the Ifriti grunts. Is something humorous.
No,
Servant
just-
of the Air Lords.
No, not at all. I thought we would have to go through some sort of entire dungeon to find it. It just
He has a nervous tick.
Let's let's call it the hubris of the Anlins is really shocking. I mean, would you like to do the honors then?
Gladly.
Momo goes over and gives the papers to him.
Alright. The Ifriti snatches it from your hands, then holds it aloft, and boom! It bursts into this blinding white plume of fire that sends white sparks through the forge, flying everywhere past your heads, inches away from you. It's very hot, but never gets anywhere where it could be damaging, before finally it collapses into more ash and scatters into nothing. And the Afridi dusts his hands. There. Finally, I can return to my many holdings in the city of Brass. He is about to move, but then stops, takes a breath, looks over all of you. Although, I have been asked many things by many people in my forced servitude, this accursed forge. You are the only ones who have asked for nothing. That is generosity that I cannot let go unrewarded. I am still master of this forge, and should you need these services, Pasha Manil Sharmoz Obomersad is at your service.
I love him. I love him so
Oh, best friend. Well,
Yay!
we are very grateful for that, officer.
You will call me Pasha if you are to call me by any title.
Sorry, Pasha, yes. Thank you very much.
And before we get into any more conversation with Pasha and what he knows and what he can do, we're gonna call the session here before the internet goes out again. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all so much for bearing with my internet dying twice. We'll see if third time's the charm in the post-show. Tuesday is probably a stove game of some kind. I don't think it's going to be a bear game, unfortunately. Thursday, with any luck, it's going to be a space game. Friday is going to be a thing. And Sunday is Discord Murder Party. We'll see you for more Fallen Empires. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.